You're still with your feel-good breakfast show. It is Espresso here on SABC3. Now, think fast and adapt. This is exactly what it takes to survive in these trying times. I mean, we've heard it. The events industry in South Africa has been one of the hardest hit by the impact of the quarantine measures. And that's why Penquin, an agency with over 2 decades of experience in activations and event marketing, had to quickly adapt to the restrictions of lockdown in order to survive and do what they do best.
Now, through this, the talented team of activation enthusiasts launched the all-new Suzuki Espresso into South Africa. This morning, we chat to Penquin Managing Director Veronica Weinstein on how she adapted the events industry during these trying and difficult times. A very good morning to you, Veronica. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Veronica, let's start here. Who is Penquin and what is it exactly that your agency does? I mean, you've been doing it for 2 decades now.
Yeah, we have. So Penquin is now, this is actually our 20th year in business. August will be our birthday. And we're an ad agency that offers the full spectrum of services. So everything from above the line through to online, as well as below the line, which is where the activations and events piece come in. We're about a team of 45 people at the moment, and they are family. I love them to bits, and they really work every single day. We have a pretty amazing group of clients as well that we've had really long relationships with. So, you know, it really feels like a family type business.
And we love to hear that here on Espresso. What does pivoting a business mean, though? And what can you give as an example of in terms of how you've been able to help a client adapt to the current circumstances?
So, I mean, pivoting business at the moment is very much a buzzword, and I think it's come under extreme circumstances that people have had to just adapt and change their game plans. And that's been something that's really challenging for a lot of businesses. So I have to say that we're really blessed that we were able to pivot our business. That's really an entrepreneurial spirit. I think you have to be able to quickly make decisions and change the business around. So a very quick example of that is when we launched the Suzuki Espresso, we had prepped the entire event. So we were down in Cape Town, the whole team was there, they'd set up venues, caterers, the whole bang shoot. And on the Monday night, the president announced that by Thursday we would be on full lockdown. So, yeah, I mean, the client had, you know, guests out from India, from Japan, and we were now expecting journalists from all around the country to be flying to Cape Town for this launch event, you know, do a ride and drive in the cars, the whole bang shoot. And Suzuki instantaneously said it would be completely irresponsible of us to do that. If the whole country is going on lockdown, this is absolutely a pandemic. We need to make sure that not only are our staff and our suppliers safe, but we've got to make sure that we treat our journalists and guests exactly the same way. So in 48 hours, we took an actual live event into an online live event. We quickly made together a teaser video. We broadcast that on social media, told people that we were going to launch at a certain time and that they should check in for the live broadcast of it. We then had one of the clients filming himself in the ride and drive. So again, a safe environment. It was him with a mounted camera talking about the car, talking about the features. And then on the Wednesday night, we went live to social media audience. And I mean, it went just so smoothly. It spoke about the pricing of the car, where it's positioned in the market, gave them an illustration of what it looks like, and then still filmed this empty venue afterwards to show everybody that this was completely live. It was just amazing thinking on the client's behalf. I think a very brave and bold move. And they were quick to react. And I think my team responded phenomenally. They just got involved and got it done.
Veronica, I am stuck on 48 hours. I mean, that is just absolutely mind-blowing. But the big question is, was the event in the way that you did it and turned it around in 48 hours a success in the end?
So it was phenomenal, and I think it's partly because people were now locked in their homes, so we had this really captive audience, but also just the way that it was done, and I think it was actually like a first in the country to be able to, you know, flip an event like that. So the results have been phenomenal. We pretty much outsold all of our competitors this last month.
Wow.
The coming in on the websites have been insane. It's actually been a higher response than we've had on any other launch in the past. So, and look, the product also leans itself to that. It's a dynamic little buggy, and it's really, really cool to drive, and it's funky. And so, I think it's all just a recipe for success. So it's been amazing.
Well, we love it. We've got one of those cars outside here in the parking lot, so we can attest to the fact that it is stunning. And, of course, the launch of that particular car would fly anywhere.
Absolutely correct. But, Veronica, what does this mean for the future of events? Do you think that certain events and activations will have to go more digital?
We can't necessarily predict the future, but I think if everything ran smoothly and according to plan, it would be a very boring world. And I believe as human beings, we are built to make solutions, to come up with solving problems. And so I definitely think the events industry is going to be impacted, and I think it'll be for quite a while still. But there are absolutely ways of being able to flip that around and make sure that you're still getting good coverage, good exposure for your clients, an engaged type of event, and something that the audience can really enjoy. I think it's broadened our thinking, and I think it's allowed us to be a lot more creative, which is every agency's dream. So it's scary, it's uncertain, but in the same token, I think there's a lot of good that can come out of it.
Well, let's talk about your message to businesses that are currently walking a tightrope because of the lockdown. As an agency that has been able to stretch themselves and express their creativity in the way that you've done for Suzuki, what would you say to those businesses?
I think this is an amazing opportunity to be able to stretch yourselves and to be able to really make an impact to multiple people in multiple channels. I think that it's in a time like this that it really shows your true colors as a business owner, how you are with your staff, how you are with your clients, and how you're able to quickly change what it is that you do to still make it a beautiful business. I think it's a cool opportunity to, without sounding lame, express yourself. I'm go out there and do it and be bold and be brave and, conquer new realms and whatever it takes.
Love it. Love it.
Veronica Weinstein, Managing Director of Penquin, thank you so much for joining us this morning and just, sharing your experiences, particularly during these trying times, for also inspiration for other agencies who may be going through, difficult and uncertain times. We hope that you have a fantastic morning further.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Well, without a doubt, difficult and uncertain times may be challenging, and yes, they are, but being able to adapt to your environment is very important for any type of business. Take those words of Veronica and run with them.